67 games at 6 sites.
I know we can be successful and show the world what Indiana and Indianapolis is capable of.
After a year of cancellations and closures, state leaders, business owners, and fans are ready for a little March Madness.
This is going to save a number of bankruptcies across central Indiana.
A lot of excitement for college basketball's marquee event, but this year's tournament is going to look a lot different, and not just because of its location. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brooke Martin.
And I'm Sierra Hignite. There will be safety protocols in place in order to keep players, coaches, and other school employees safe. Sports director Anthony Calhoun broke this story for us this morning on Daybreak, hours before it was announced by the NCAA. AC.
What a day, right?
Yeah.
Historic day here for the city of Indianapolis. And you know how much we love college basketball here in the Hoosier State. Let's go. We are ready to go. Hey, good evening to you. This is unprecedented. The entire men's NCAA basketball tournament taking place right here in Indianapolis. Our city will take center stage for 3 weeks of March Madness. Safety is priority number one for these student athletes as the NCAA tries to navigate during this pandemic. So there will be a bubble set up similar to the NBA's in Orlando, meaning that 3 downtown Indianapolis hotels will be the home for these 68 teams during their time here in Indianapolis. As for the venues where the games are going to be taking place, here's a look at those 6 venues here. You got a Hinkle Fieldhouse. How about that? The Coliseum at the State Fairgrounds. You got Bankers Life Fieldhouse as well. Lucas Oil Stadium, which is the site of this year's Final Four. And then you have West Lafayette there, Mackey Arena. That location there is going to be the site for just first round games only there. And then Bloomington at Assembly Hall, they'll only play host to first round games as well. Meanwhile, as far as the president of the NCAA, Mark Emmert, he said this today that no doubt it was devastating news last year when they had to cancel the NCAA tournament, and he did not want that to be a repeat here in 2021.
This year, we want to make sure we deliver on the promise of March Madness. The athletes who have dealt with so much difficulty this year and have responded with such incredible resiliency and resolve, they deserve it. Let's all get this done, Indiana. We can do this, and I know we can be successful and show the world what Indiana and Indianapolis is capable of.
To have folks like Dr. Emmert and Dan Gavitt and Joanne Scott feel so good about Indianapolis and to trust us, and for them to say to whether it's the university presidents or whether it's the athletic directors or the committee, whatever the case may be, let's take it to Indianapolis and let's do it. It's just is beyond our belief, and we couldn't be more excited and more grateful to them for it.
Unbelievable. Hey, meanwhile, there has been, though, a lot of discussion regarding fans allowed to attend these tournament games as of right now. And this could change pending the pandemic situation, but no fans are allowed to watch these games in person. Only family members of players will be given access to watch these games. These live events, but
still great news, though.
Still incredible news. I mean, when you think about it, and we were talking about this just before we came on here tonight, how you may not have the fans in there, but as far as the city of Indianapolis, every game they go to on live television is going to be a spotlight of what's going on in our city. From the fairgrounds to Hinkle Fieldhouse, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. I mean, it's all centered around Indianapolis.
Just huge. I mean, historic, as we said.
That's right.
Unbelievable news. All right, we'll continue to follow it closely. AC, thanks so much.
Well, Butler's director of athletics says that the university is proud to host tournament games for the first time in more than 80 years. Barry Collier sent News8 a statement saying, bringing all of March Madness to our great state and our great city in 2021 is yet another example of true partners coming together to showcase our community as the best place to host sporting events.
And while this is March Madness, it is no game for struggling restaurants and other businesses, especially downtown. Wish TV's Dan Klein joins us live. And Dan, economists believe this could have a $150 million impact.
And an even bigger one if conditions improve enough to allow at least just a few fans in to watch the games. But even if there are no fans, experts tell me this is a big enough thing to save some businesses from turning out the lights for good. It's a quiet Monday night for Pier 48 Fish House and Oyster Bar. But brighter nights are ahead thanks to the NCAA news.
It's just a nice surprise. You know, it's the bump that we need.
They have a prime spot across Pennsylvania from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. But so far, with no fans for Pacer games this season, co-owner Keith Stucker can't tell when the pros are in action.
Can you tell a difference in business when the Pacers are playing? Incrementally right now, no.
Stucker says a college tournament should be a different game.
With all of those teams comes a lot of friends and family.
Even if just parents are allowed in. But that's not all.
As important as a Super Bowl, if not more important, to the city's tourism and travel industry.
Ball State economist Mike Hicks estimates the tournament is worth $125 to $175 million to the region. Plus, even if fans don't come here in force, those who watch the tournament will be getting a constant look at the best Indiana has to offer. The food, the museums, and that's tough to put a price tag on.
Indianapolis shows very well on national media, much better than I think most Hoosiers understand.
And it's an impact that will start to be felt in the coming weeks, well before the tournament begins, as preparations are being made.
But even with a very scaled-back fans, just parents, a few people, I think this is going to be extraordinarily big. And the key point is there's really nothing else happening.
And that's music to the ears of Stucker, whose business was down 60% over the previous year in the last quarter. And with 90 days for things to improve until the championship, he's hopeful more fans will be allowed.
It's hard to believe, in my opinion, you would have Lucas Oil Stadium for a Final Four with no fans.
Both Keith Stucker as well as state and local officials hope a successful tournament here helps give others the confidence to bring their big events and maybe even some conventions to town later this year and in future years. Reporting live downtown, Dan Klein, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook.
All right, Dan, thank you. It is not just restaurant owners excited to have people back downtown. Hotels, of course, have been dealing with empty rooms for months now. Senior Vice President of Visit Indy, Chris Gall, says so far there are nearly 3,000 hotel rooms on hold for the tournament. He estimates the tournament will have a 9-figure economic impact, and he hopes this news means better days are coming.
It's a boost to our morale. It's a boost to our economy, and specifically our hoteliers, who will enjoy these overnight stays and enjoy the occupancy boosts, and ultimately it will help them recover as a whole as we collectively recover.
Patrick Tam with the Indiana Restaurant Lodging Association says 2/3 of Indiana hotels are looking at bankruptcy because of the pandemic. He believes the biggest boost will come if fans are allowed to pack the stands. Our coverage of the NCAA tournament continues online. There you'll find more reaction from state and city leaders. And in case you missed it, we've posted all of today's announcement. It's all right now at wishtv.com.